So hello everybody. Today we are going to solve Leetcode problem that appears in weekly contest 428, which is minimum operation to make character frequencies equal. So read the statement first before coming to the video. And what's the question is saying that we are given a string s, okay, and we have to make some operation, that is 3 operations, and after that we have to make the frequency of all characters equal in string. Okay, so we have to return the minimum number of operations that is required to make frequency of all character in s is equal. So the operation is, we can delete a character in one operation, we can insert a character in one operation, and similarly we can change any character to its next alphabet, but we can't change in circular way, like Z is converted to A is not possible. So here there are 3 operations we can do. So we can think of some kind of dynamic programming concept here. So we are going to use that. Okay, so I don't know what is the target frequency in the S. So like the target frequency here is S1, so we can delete one S, and in this operation we can get every frequency 1. Okay, similarly in this case, if we set the target frequency as 2, so every character have frequency 2, so we return simply 0. And in this case also, if we change, means if we set the required frequency equal to 2, so we can change one character, that is A, to the B directly in one operation, and we can add one C in this, so it will be in 2 operation. We can say that the all characters have same frequency. Okay, so I don't know the what is the number that is target frequency, so we can make a for loop in and check the every possibility. So as n will be length of the string, and for every string, for every frequency from 1 to n, I will check all of these and I will take minimum of all those. That will be our answer. So answer will be minimum of answer on some function I will call, which will calculate what is the minimum operations to required to make frequency equal to t. Let's suppose this is variable t, and so I will return finally the answer. So we can declare also answer is equal to some maximum value, so that I want to take the minimum one. So I have to also declare the function as func, and which is going to return something. So what is the state of this function? So state will be the index, and let's first hash this string into 26 size vector. So I consider a vector of 26. Okay, and I will put the frequency of each characters in the v vector. So for every integer from I to n, I will increase the frequency of character I in v vector by 1. Okay, I plus plus, and after giving the value, so I can put this v vector indirectly pass as a reference. So I can declare one another value passed, that is whether the current characters is passed to the next character or not, like we are changing the present character to its next alphabet. And what is the target? So I can declare it as an argument as t, and I can also pass the v vector which is storing the frequencies. So there is a quick observation in this question, that there is no meaning to pass the character more than one steps. Like suppose this is the string given, and if you calculate the frequency, that 411 means A occurs 4 times, B occur 1 time, C occur 1 times. So let's suppose we pass 2 character into B, and let's suppose that we have target frequency as 2. Let's suppose T equal to 2. So we can directly change pass 2 character to the B, which means C 3 characters will be, and if we pass another character to the C, that means all characters have equal frequency, that is 2. It needs 3 operations. First 2 operation in this and 1 operation changing B to C. We can also doing the same thing, like change 1 character from A to B and delete 1 character here and add 1 character here. So there is no meaning to pass the characters in more than 1 step. Like suppose there are lots of characters here, so we cannot pass more than further than 1 step. So that is the observation here. And now let's define this recursive function. So what we do the base case. So the base case, if I is greater than equal to 26, means out of bound in the v vector, then we simply return 0. Otherwise I have to calculate it. So let's suppose I declare answer as a max so that I can calculate the minimum values. And there are basically 3 cases. So that if the frequency of the current characters is greater than in target, or else if v of I equal to target, and the last one is the lesser than target. Okay, so if v of I, but that is the frequency is lesser than t. Now we have to handle all these cases separately, and finally we can return the answer, that will be minimum one. So if the frequency of the current character is greater than that, what are the options that we can do? So out of all those I have to take the minimum one. Either we can delete the extra characters. So the extra character will be v of I minus of t. I will delete the extra character and recursively call that to the next index. So index will be increased by 1 and pass will be 0 and t is equal to 0, same, and v as it is. Or we can also pass the extra character to the next index. So extra character is v minus I minus of t and plus of next index, and pass will be 1 because we have passed the characters, and t as it is and v same. Let's define. Okay, so this is we can do in this test case. And if v is equal to t, that means we do not want to change anything, so we can simply return the maximum one as calling by next index, and pass will be same as 0. We do not want to pass anything, and t will be same and v will be same. So here now we handle this test case when the frequency of the current character is lesser than the target. So I will be check that if it is there is some character pass from previous one or not. Okay, if there is no any pass characters, so there are couple of options that we can do. The first option would be that I will add the remaining characters, so t minus of v of I, that many character we have to put in, and I will similarly call the next index, pass will be 0 and t and v same. Okay, and I can also delete this all characters, there is also option. So let's suppose I delete the options all characters, so so I can delete v of I and all the characters I deleted in this many operations and call the next index, pass will be 0, t and v same. There is one more option that I can also pass all these character to the next index, so v of I and I will call the next index, and pass will be 1, t same, and v same. So in this call function we have pass v of I characters to the next index. Okay, so I handle this function also. And now if it is passed, means there is some character that is given by the previous index. So how many characters required at current index to fulfill the target one? So let that is required will be some 0, and I will check that if that previous index having frequency less than t, that means if it is passed, then all the characters will be passed. So our required value will be current, that is required v of I, and then also then v of I minus 1 and v of I minus 1 also, like it is passed from previous index. This many frequency I required. If it is greater than t, so that required will be what? T minus v of I, current required, minus of that is extra character that is passed by the previous index. So that is v of I minus 1 minus of t. These are the extra characters passed by this one, and then I can call this function also as answer, and the required plus next index, and pass will be 0, and then t will be same, v will be same. Okay, and this is the our recursive function. Let's run this and say what is okay. We have to pass this argument also. So index started with 0, pass will be 0, t will be same, and v will be same. Let's run this. And I think it is giving TLE because we have not used the memoization concept. So I will initialize as the 2ddp vector of vector, which is size 26 by 2, and initialize with -1. 26 because the I can be varies from 0 to 26 and pass will be 0 1. So 26 by 2 size, and I can also pass this vector as a reference into the function. So vector of vector dp, and in this function I have to pass the dp. So I can pass it in every function, in this function also, in this, and in this place also. Yeah, so I have passed, and I will check that I have already calculated the value of not. If dp of I and pass is not equal to -1, that means we have already calculated the value, and that I can simply return it the value. Okay, and otherwise I will calculate the value and then store it in this index. And now let's run it, and yeah, it is accepting. So let's submit it. So it is giving wrong answer. Let's use this test case. Okay, what's the wrong here? Yeah, so I think this may be sometimes negative. Let's see out this value. Yeah, sometimes it is negative because there may be some So if there is negative value, we can say that there is no requirement of any. So I can simply, if required is negative, so we can put required equal to 0. And now let's run this function. So yeah, it is accepting. And now if submit that, yeah, so it is accepted, but the I think time complexity is little bit higher, so that it is beating only 5%, and it is also taking much more time. So to reduce it, I think we do not need to run from every 1 to length of the string. We can directly say that I will run the for loop from the 1 to the maximum frequency of any character in the S, so that I initialize m with 0, and for every integer in v I will store the maximum one. So m will be maximum of m and v of I. So I have to not make the for loop from 1 to n, but 1 to m. And now let's run this. Yeah, let's submit this solution. And yeah, it is a little bit faster than the previous one. So this is the solution of the question. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next one. Thank you.